My fellow Cybertronians, welcome to this Saturday stream. I'm, of course, your host, CF. Most of you already know me. So, and we've got a lot, well, not a lot, but we've got some stuff to go over today, and we can keep it open in general, too, which is nice. We've got some fun stuff to go over, and I mean fun stuff. Like, for instance, we've got some regulars in here today, and we got some new faces, new but familiar faces. We've got Ultra, or I don't even know how to say that, so I'm just going to call it Ghost. We've got Ghost in here. Let's see, he spammed early on. We've got Allberry. We've got Fireclaw, who's a regular and a server mod, as well as a channel mod. We've got Trax in here. Probably one of the more reputable Autobots I'll ever refer to. We've got Maddie. We've got Cheeto, who's currently at work, so he's probably listening in. Hopefully. We've got a new face on our stream, Phoenix, PPX, and TFEW. Check out his channel. He does some. He's getting his footing down, and he's getting his sea legs for his channel and his content. He's doing some good stuff out there. We've got Fireclaw. Let's see. I know we got a couple of more people in here. I just saw it. We've got Cheeto. Well, there we go. We've got We Are the Ones. Welcome to the. He's becoming a regular too. We got J-Rad in here. Welcome, my good friend. So we've got Clarence Trevino. Hi, welcome to the stream. Let's see. We got Radio Wave 74. He's becoming a regular too. That's awesome. I'm glad to see that I'm starting to get a set of regulars around. I really am. But boy, oh boy, like I said, you know, the newsletter and the news in the game was a little slim this week, but we got some good stuff to go over. First of all, as most of you already know, and those of you that don't, 5-star Bruticus and Optimus Maximus went live this week. They are currently web store exclusives, especially through Mirage and Breakdown and Dust Up and Vortex. You can get them on the web store. We've got we've got the new combats that we'll look over. Chopster and Windblaze. There is a new version of the game that got pushed out that has the frameworks for Total Prime Power, which will go out hopefully later this coming week. So make sure that you guys are running on version 30 before August 6th. Let's see. Yeah, as a lot of you guys already know, this is what I get for reading the chat while trying to announce, and I'm seeing comments from some of my friends here. They're cracking me up here. We've got, yeah, I totally lost it. A lot of you know because you've been involved with it, like Fireclaw and Cheeto and a couple of other, Ultrapitus and a couple of other guys have been giving me feedback, but I've launched the new data sheets this week, which we can go over. I'd like to show you guys that and show you how they're laying out on videos and such now. And we've got on my Discord server earlier this week, I ran some ideas. I wrote like a soft giveaway. Sadly, there's nothing giving away except a little bit of flex fuel. And the winner from the new fake ad was Windchaser216, who gave me the idea for Blur's delivery service. So you should see it down below in the fake ad section as I keep that going. Yeah, so we've also got Legacy Batch 20 that came out this week too. That was a big surprise out of nowhere. But still, nonetheless, it was great that it came out. Maybe, hopefully now, I know people are going to start already asking, hey, when's Legacy 21 coming out? We don't even have a full set for that yet. But the Legacy 20 has got pretty much the previous 5-star releases in the game. So we've got Beast Wars Prowl and Sea Clamp, or Ironhide. Beast Wars Ironhide and Sea Clamp. Sorry. We've got Twilight Tear's favorite bot, Punch and Counter Punch. We've got everybody's despised little Cup clone of Sideways. He's bifactional. Trax and Cutthroat are finally off the web store and they're in the batch now. And of course we've got Wheelie and Crasher, which a lot of players are still iffy about. I still think they're great bots overall. Of course, chat feedback if you have them or you've played with them. We've all experienced them. But this is one of the samples of the new datasheet styles I've got going on. And this one is my legacy batch sheet. But we've got plenty of new ones coming up. Like I've got new bot ones that have a lot of data in them. A lot of us, and I can't just say just me in this case, but a lot of us like Fireclaw and Megatron and even JRAD had contributed some feedback. Ultrapitus gave me some feedback, on laying these out and refining these. So I gotta thank everybody involved with helping refine and tweak this out. One of the things, a lot of the enhancements I did for this should be, I've done like a little progress bar of red to green, denoting, bad to good levels of, offensive and defensive use. I've got a how to use this bot section, which is a little clearer, especially now that I've got it aligned under the tactics section of the data sheet. I've got it set up so that if the bot or con has a major rank, that in the rank section that gets highlighted, or a general rank that gets highlighted. So whatever their max rank is, you'll see it. My triple changer sheet, just goes to major because triple changers don't have generals at the moment. So I've got some SA11 bonuses. Of course, I've got the entire Prime cores selected and shown in here, but the ones that are highlighted in gold are the ones that are recommended for the bot. So we've got a lot of good information here on these new data sheets. I was actually able to cram a lot more information into them. And this is the Autobot one. We've got the Decepticon style. I wanted to try to give you guys some variations on what I was showing off today. Hopefully they are looking good in the video, because I went completely horizontal in their layout so that they would scale the videos better. Here's a sample of the combiner one and our new 5-star combiner here with Bruticus and Optimus Maximus. I've got these two in place. These are some really nice sheets, I think, overall. Hopefully they'll help players out as they start to learn and use them. And hey, we got Zohan in. Hey, welcome Modulator. Good to see you. That's Zohan, by the way. And then we've got the new Titan sheets, which breaks down the Titan perks by their Titan tree breakdown. So we've got Titan perks, defense perks, attack perks, base perks, and they're all listed in the levels in which they're able to be unlocked, and their stats and their abilities and their usage and such. So I've really tried to help refine this data, make it easier for people to read, people to consume and go over. Plus, I think overall the sheets look really nice. Hey Blade, welcome to the chat. Glad to see you, my friend. And like I said, this wasn't just a sole effort on me. A lot of people, JRAD, Ultrapitus, Cheeto had some feedback. you know, Fireclaw, even Phoenix had some feedback on these sheets. You know, so this was a communal effort. This wasn't just a, hey, I'm just going to redesign these arbitrarily. You know, I got user feedback to help line these up and lay these out. And then, of course, I've got some new cost sheet styles and layouts built up here, which this one is for the total prime power map. I've got all 84 steps in here, their costs, which ones are highlighted as milestones, and I'll give you guys a refresher over total prime power when we get that. Modulator. I don't know when we're going to get rated in the build shop. Nothing's been said so far about that. You know, it's just been one of those things that I think is on the slate to be taken care of, but hasn't been addressed yet. So, yeah, so I mean, that's pretty much kind of the whole summation of everything that's new going on. So, like I said, it's kind of slim, but you know, we've got good stuff going on. And you know, that's why I kind of opened up this one with we can do general chat. We can look some things over, and actually that's kind of where I'm gonna go next with this. I want to show you guys some new kind of new stuff. Oh wait, you know what? I almost skipped the HQ19 buildings because we didn't do it last week. That was my fault. So yeah, last week we got the shield generator. Here it is. See, I almost skipped right ahead, you know. But yeah, here's the new shield generator. It's looking sharp, along with all of the other rendered buildings for HQ19. But yeah, I mean, it looks nice. It looks mean. It looks like a Space Needle. It looks like something from Seattle or something. And again, I've got no idea as to the scale on these buildings yet. We haven't seen them in playtest. We haven't gotten around to getting them released in playtest, so we don't have any specs, any time, or anything else. But here's the headquarters. The Autobot headquarters, the Decepticon headquarters, and then we've got you know, the alloy harvesters. They look nice, but I mean, that's not much of a big upgrade on them, to be honest. And then we've got the alloy storages, which I do like. I do like these. These really do look sharp. And so yeah, I really like these. And then we've got the Energon harvesters, which is still one of my favorite designs. I hope that we don't lose the definition in these when we get them on our base. I really don't, because I really like the design of them. And then we've got our new scanners, which went digital. And then we've got our new auto cannons, which look like stationary tanks. I mean, they look aggressive. And maybe with the new Cyber Knight cores that are coming soon, we'll get some new enhancements with these. That would be interesting to see. There's our Planet Express walls. I'm gonna always default to these as the Planet Express walls. I'm always gonna do that because they do look like the Planet Express headquarters from Futurama. And then we've got our new stasis mines up here. And these look like the old metal bottle caps, you know, from like beer bottles or old soda bottles. You know, they're mean. And then we've got our new beam lasers out here. And yeah, I have to agree with Blade 19. I can understand the frustration in that. Yeah, HQ19 is moving kind of slow, but honestly, to be honest, Blade, with the way that they used to rush content out before, I would like to see some major improvements for this weight. I'm really hoping that we can get some major improvements And here's the missile launchers for HQ-19. So they're still mean, they're still aggressive. They're in the Metroplex and Triptychon colors. You know, they're not the orange and teal ones that we had previously. And then here's the shock tower. This little extra building that you see off to the side of the render here, that's the center core. That's the conduit for the shock tower. And then we've got the new laser turrets, which I guessed right when these were being released. I honestly didn't have any idea. So that was kind of a fun little thing. And then we've got the new shield generators. So I mean, really, I am liking the overall aesthetic that they're going with HQ-19, but I'm kind of on par with Blade 19 and Cheeto and Trax and stuff that we need HQ-19, you know, here imminently. People are anxious. Players are getting crabby and very verbal about when. We know it's going to be this year, and we're heading into the fall quarter, so hopefully we can get them this quarter, maybe at the beginning of winter. But I know that we still have a number more. We still have a new building coming, a new defensive building coming, which I can't talk about other than I know that there's a new building coming, and you know. We've got more reveals coming. So yeah, that's where it's currently laying. So we didn't have a building reveal this week, which was kind of surprising. It really was. I was like, well, that's really interesting. We didn't get a building reveal. You know, there were a couple of things that were like, what happened to everything? But I get that the team is busy and stuff, and that they've got a lot of stuff going on and behind the scenes. We've got in playtest a proposition for a balance patch 3. Nothing has been nailed down that way yet. We've got another set of legacy reworks coming. So I mean, there's a lot on the table, but there's nothing that's ready to be done yet. I kind of do have to agree with you on that Trax that we do need some new bots. I mean, we did just get Wheelie and Crasher, and a lot of people are still dubious about them because a lot of people are still claiming, oh, they're just Iron Bison and Lightspeed 2.0, and that's the bad thing. And I think maybe that was part of my fault, because you know, I did a comparison video and I did a couple of streams comparing them that way, or saying that's how players would compare them, and I kind of feel a little bit responsible for that because they're not directly Lightspeed and Iron Bison 2.0. They're disablers. They're base clearers. That's what they're designed for. And a lot of players aren't really acknowledging that yet. I think though that as the more that we showcase them and show them off, we will. You know, I agree with Cheeto here too. You know, he says we need more defensive bots. Defense is horrible, and it really is. You know, the main idea of the game is offense and defensive strategies, and we don't have too many defensive bots out there. Yes, we have warriors, but it's not. They're more offensive than they are defensive, kind of like what Cheeto is saying here, you know, and it's just interesting because I mean we've got a couple of good defensive bots. We've got Mind Wipe, we've got Punch and Counter Punch. A lot of people don't like those bots. I get it, but you know, at the same time, it's just like you guys have got to open up your minds a little bit. The player base has to think outside the box. And I think in some ways the new bots did deliver that. And I'm talking Wheelie and Crasher. And even as good or as bad as Sideways is, I think even Sideways delivers in that regard. I've heard a lot of players say that Sideways is actually kind of decent in an outpost. I honestly haven't tried them in that regard yet. You know, most of the streams and most of the testing that we do are offensive, because you know we want to see how they're going to be used, how players are going to try to use them, different scenarios, different use cases. But you know, there's just a lot of things that a lot of players don't want to get out of their comfort zone about. That's the best way I can kind of describe it that way, is that they don't want to get out of their comfort zone. And yeah, Trax, thank you for saying that. It's not my fault. You know, Wheelie is kind of the 2.0. I'm not denying that. There is a little lack of imagination there. But as you and I and Cheeto, you know, as we played on the streams and in playtest, you know, and we've shown out, you know, we've shown time and time again, they're great disruptors. They can come through. They can clear out the fences, you know, and a lot of people aren't seeing it that way. They're not seeing that they help clean out a base. But thank you for saying that, you know. But really, thank you very much for saying that. And Cheeto, yeah, I'm right there with you. It's not a 2.0 bot. It's a bot that has a specific strategy. So, and I'm going to scroll up a little bit because I know everybody's been chatting away with this. So I want to try to address everybody that I can, not just specific people here. Let's see. Okay, well, again, Trax is saying that right now they can't even handle customer service tickets properly. That is kind of true, but they've also got a very small support staff. They've got like 3 to 5 people on their staff last I checked. That could have increased, that could have decreased. I don't really know yet. But yeah, I mean, but also stop and consider that these guys are getting, you know, 1,500 to 2,000 tickets a day amongst like 5 people at most, including the community manager. You know, that's a lot of tickets to scroll through, to prioritize, and to address. And a lot of the tickets, from what I've seen, you know, on the Earthwars server, on our family server, on my channel server, a lot of the tickets are user error. You know, they got a new device. They didn't stop to think about, you know, swapping over their data before they got a new device. Or, you know, they switched devices. They went from iOS to Android or vice versa. And they didn't consult the support documentation on that. Or, you know, it's like, oh crap, I hit the delete button. How can I stop it? You gotta go into support. This is a lot of player and I'm not trying to defend the team here. I'm just trying to show you from what I've seen, what my experience has been. You know, I've helped a lot of people out on the Earthwars server, on my server, on our family server, that just have you know, some overall, you know, they did something stupid. It happens. We're human. We've all done something stupid. This is how I know this experience. You know, I've gone through it myself. So yeah, and I would really like to see a lot more movement on HQ19. You know, we've got a new combiner, Landcross and Monstructor coming. I'd like to see some development on that. I know that the team is focusing on a new balance patch, a couple more legacy bots. We need some, but like everybody's been saying, we do need new bots. I'm not denying that in the least bit. And especially considering, I mean, most players now, even free to play like myself, are maxed out at 18, or we're on the cusp of finishing maxing out at HQ 18. So, you know, we've got our Titans maxed out. We've got our combiners maxed out. We've got everything. We've got everything that we can maxed out, and it's becoming repetitive and stale. I mean, it's been years for me, and I know it's been longer for other people. So we definitely need to see some movement, and we are getting it. It's just that the movement isn't at the pace that the community wants, and I can understand the community frustration in that regard. I really can. But at the same time, we got to look at the history of things. We've seen what happens when the dev team rushes out content, when they rush out, broken stuff. A perfect example would be like Ruination and God Neptune. In playtest, I think Trax and myself, we both said something is wrong with this combiner. It should not be this powerful. And the devs on playtest kind of just took us by the wayside, said don't worry about it, we'll eventually address it. And then they launched them, and of course God Neptune and Ruination were the combiners to use. I mean, there was no comparison to anything out there. And then when the legacy patch happened back in summer of 2024, the player base went nuts, saying that it was a nerf. And yeah, in hindsight, I kind of see how it was a nerf, but it was, the playtesters know that this was a much needed fix and rebalance that had to happen. I'm not saying that I agreed with it, but it had to happen. We knew it was coming, and we don't want to push out broken content continuously, and wow, chat is going alive. All right, well, I'm sorry about my tirade. I just thought I'd help explain some stuff from both the dev side, the playtester side, and the player side. JRAD is saying that he's heard some people saying that Crasher is like a worse Bomb Burst or Metal Hawk. Well, I can see how they're saying that, because their abilities are far more similar. Metal Hawk does the rush, the cryo rush with a minor AOE on cryo, and then Crasher comes in and does the electric AOE and rushes back. But maybe we'll play that. We'll pair them up, see how they work, because I've also noticed, JRAD, a lot of the players are not accepting the electric and cryo synergy too. They're really just like electric and cryo are two separate things. They don't synergize, and actually they do very well. That's why, which dumbfounds me a little bit, because they are like, electric and cryo don't synergize, and then Tasmanian Kid or Antagony are great. That's cryo and electric, and they synergize just fine. So I mean, I think that there's a lot of misunderstanding in those elements and using those elements, in my opinion, JRAD. I'm not going to speak for everybody else. I mean, a lot of us are ahead of the curve. Yourself, myself, Cheeto, and even Husky. Husky asks me all the time, about how should he implement the electric and cryo, and I'm like, well, which bots are we using? Because, in some certain situations, cryo's better first, and electric's better first. So you got to really work those tactics out that way. But I think maybe we'll explore some of those concepts. And let's see. Phoenix saying, any idea when the new combiners are coming out? All we know right now is that according to the roadmap, they are coming out this year. It's going to be Landcross and Monstructor, and we don't know if they're going to be bot-based or component-based yet. I've been asking every time that something gets mentioned about them to the team, and they're keeping mum as the word on that one right now. So hopefully, in a way, I hope that they're going to be bot-based, because we might get Weird Wolf and Jaguar for Monstructor, maybe. Speculation, I don't know. And then we've got Fireclaws. He's saying, considering we just got 5-star Bruticus, I definitely like to see a new bot. Plus, we've got Chopster coming out. Yeah, I know that I haven't really broached Chopster too much, especially since he's in playtest and stuff. And you know what? While I'm on that topic, let's talk about it. So that way my base changes too. Excuse me. But yeah, we've got Chopster and we've got Wingblaze. Sorry, I try to say it better each time, but I fail. And for those of you that don't know, they're kind of like the melee versions of Scorpulator and Tyrannotron. They're a big DPS booster. Plus, they offer like they call it here. They call it here a massive strike, and it kind of right now, at least the effect that we have kind of looks like smash damage. So yeah, I would really like to explore this because they boost DPS on melee bots, and right now their circulation is limited because, like I said, they are strictly just melee bots. Here, look, I'll show you the list so far, and I'm gonna get rid of this header real quick because it's bothering me because I'm not showing the combiners at the moment. But it's all melee style bots, and yes, it even does equip to Iron Bison. But like I didn't want to equip him, but he got equipped anyway. I'm gonna unequip him again real quick, but yeah, it's all melee style bots. See, no air, no gunners, no medics, special melees. It does apply to the triple changers. The only one is Blitzwing and Skylynx because they're the only melee triple changers. But the warriors are fairly open and available there. So I mean it's pretty good there. And while I've got like Iron Bison up. But I don't really want to equip him to Iron Bison. I want him back on my Headstrong because I want you guys to see this DPS boost. I want you guys to see this smash that he does. So aside from that, and let me put a team together. You know what I'm gonna do? I haven't done this in such a long time. This is gonna be fun. I'm gonna do the Legacy Batch 20 team. And I know I haven't maxed them all out, but we'll get Cutthroat in there, and we'll get C-Clamp. I know C-Clamp's one of my lower 5 stars in here, but there's C-Clamp. And we'll get Sideways in here. There he is. I haven't done a Legacy Batch team in a long time, so I think this will be good. Let's see. I need to get Crasher in here. There's my Crasher. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Who am I missing? I'm missing Counterpunch. There's Counterpunch, and you know what? I'll throw my Headstrong on here since I added Chopster to him. I'm not going to run a combiner. I'm just going to run this team as is, and in typical CFTactics fashion, most of you guys already know this. This is becoming like a tagline. We don't do anything in the suggested zone. So I'm gonna run these guys here. Here's our Legacy Batch 20 team. We've got a decent. I don't want to say this is completely a front load. This is a nice competitive base though, so it's gonna give us a good run for our money on this team. Okay, and I might have to turn around and run this a couple of times to show you guys some of the features, but I'm going to come right out here. I'm going to push my Headstrong up here so that we can see Chopster, or Chopster right here. We're going to bring oh crap, who was that? I just brought them in. And then we're we're gonna get Wheelie. We're gonna get Crasher in there. Crasher took out the MDS. So I mean, I don't know why people are really against Wheelie and Crasher, because I mean, watch. I'll even bring. Let's bring Headstrong back up so that we can see this smash that Chopster does. There it was. That little flashing thing that you saw. That was Chopster's 7-second ability. Let's see if we can get it to come up again, because that was really nice. And bam! Yeah, see, it's kind of like smash damage. And then we're gonna use Crasher to drop that shield gen. And see, I don't get why people have such a distaste for Crasher. I mean, Crasher and Wheelie can really help clear out a base. They really can. Let's see. I'm going to go back through the chat real quick. Maddie, Ruin has actually gotten a little bit better over time. They are doing like some move ups and some buffs on their abilities, not so much on the combiner itself. Radio Wave is saying a new damage type would be cool, or even a new disruptive type, such as like Dark Energon or a Teleport Mine or something. See, I think it was you, Radio Wave, who actually suggested like the Teleport Mine. Where somebody comes onto your base and they go back like 3 or 5 seconds or something like that. I think you mentioned that on the Earth War server, because I remember that sounds so very familiar. It was like 3 or 5 seconds for a teleport mine. Yeah, it puts them right back to where they started. I kind of liked that one. And Trax says he didn't have any new bots to pull in the batch since he already had them. And yeah, I mean that's one way that frustrates a lot of players. Some of the higher end players is that they go ahead and they rush through the events, and look, I'm not faulting you, Trax. It's a completely good thing that you guys go through the events and get the 5 stars and such. But yeah, at the same time, it's just like, why should we bother worrying about the new legacy badge? I already have it. I've got these 5-star shards that are just burning a hole in my pocket and nothing to use them on. So I totally get you. And quite honestly, I'm rather surprised that this team performed so well, that since we don't have a higher zone, we don't have any premium zones or anything yet, I got to do the suggested zone. So we're gonna run this team into the prime zone, zone 17. And okay, we got a decent front load here, so we should be able to. I'm gonna deploy like I'm really running this team, and I'm gonna bring my Crasher up here, right there to that MDS there. Yeah, see, takes out the MDS, no freaking problem. I don't even really need to bring Cutthroat in for any smoke protection, but I am anyway. But yeah, I mean, I don't get why people aren't more appealing to it. And I guess maybe they're basing this off the stigma of Wheelie from the movie, or Wheelie from the series, where he was just like a little dumbed down bot. I don't know. But I mean, I don't see them in any regard being anything like Iron Bison. I'll have to check out Metal Hawk, because I don't have anything on this team that really works with the electric or cryo synergies at the moment. So we'll bring in a cryo bot, maybe Metal Hawk, and see what we can do to get them synergized up here. See how they work. But I mean, yeah, look, this front load did hold me back a bit. I'm not gonna lie, it did hold me back. But look, I've got a bot right up here, which just fell. But I've got a bot. I had a bot beating that HQ up. So I mean, there are values to these bots, and I'm gonna try to rush my Headstrong over here. Let's see Chopster do some damage over here, and I'm not worried. Hopefully the HQ doesn't fall. I don't care if any other bots fall. I just want to. There it is. Yeah, that interesting little flash. That's Chopster's damage. And plus, keep in mind that he also, boosts the bot's damage too. So that's going to be an interesting paradigm, because like I said, they're kind of like the melee version of Tyrannotron and Scorpulator. So I'm kind of liking how they're working for melee bots. And yeah, who do we said Metal Hawk, right? And he's a special. And do I have him in a 5-star? I don't recall. Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. Give me a Cryobot here. Cryobot. Wait. No, he's an airbot. Yeah. There he is. Skyhawk. I think mine's really low level. How low is this guy? 21. All right. You know what? We'll rush him. We'll rush him through. We'll rush him through some research real quick. We'll get him. We'll get him beefed up here, because he's not gonna withstand too long on this. And where did I put my research lab? It's down here. So yeah, we'll throw Metal Hawk in, Guy Hawk in here real quick. Wait, that's Bomb Burst that I think we were talking about. Do I have a decent level Bomb Burst? No, he needs to be in research too. And I don't know why I am like hoarding and saving my upgrades, my skip upgrades here on playtest when I've got virtually unlimited coins. But I do save them. And where were we? We're back in air. Let's do, you know what? We'll do Guy Hawk and we'll do Bomb Burst. Weren't they airbots? Didn't I just have them up here? Hey, they're... Wait. Yeah, no, they're not in the team, so how the heck are they not showing up? Oh, well, maybe it was the 4 stars. Oh, well, whatever. We'll make it work. We always make it work here. And yeah, I'll throw in Blitzwing here. But alright. We got some Cryobots here. A little bit. But yeah, Crasher and Wheelie are a little expensive, J-Rad. There's no denying that. But considering that, now keep in mind the mine are maxed here. But watch, I can come right here to this MDS. Crasher, boom, MDS is gone. So they're a base clearer. They are definitely fulfilling their goal in the fact that they are a base clearer. And we got some cryo coming over here. And there's the electric. Yeah, that synergized really, really well. Let's try against a new defense that we haven't touched yet. And if I can get Crasher out of stun, that would be great. Come on, Crasher. There we go. We got... And I'm going to have to redo the cryo over here. But yeah, I mean, bam. Both of their AoEs worked really, really well. I just think... I can see how people are thinking that they're a lesser version of it, but they're not. They're I think they're more so designed to synergize in that regard. You know, really do a nicer job to help. I mean, look, those 2 bots cleared out almost the whole top of this base. You know, and kind of like what Cheeto just said. You know, they're Wheelie and Crasher are for pathing control. That's the base disruption that, you know, we talk about. You know, disrupting the base layouts so that you can guide your bots where you want them. Let's see. Wow, we got a lot. And I totally overlooked J-Rad. Let's see what J-Rad is saying. The new combat adjust means that while there's Swindle, who can take out most bases from half the map and more means... Chop and Wing will be heavily deduced from the amount of fire domes nowadays. Well, yes and no, because they don't really apply to bots like that. They're melee. So if you've got a melee rusher that's doing acid, yeah, possibly the acid domes could hurt them. If you are doing a melee that does do fire, that too is potentially possible. but also considering that they double the bot's DPS, that warrior or that rush might be able to take out that build bot with the elemental core on it. So I'm not saying that it couldn't be done or can't be done, but I can see where you're coming from, JRAD, on that. I definitely can. But yeah, like you said, having a bot like Swindle or Sunstreaker just coming out and taking out the build bots with the elemental cores will definitely help clear. But then you can take somebody like Wheelie or Crasher and do the same thing. And yeah, it's a little bit more expensive than having one of your long-range gunners do it, but at the same time, the gunners don't give you an AoE like Wheelie or Crasher do. So, and let's see, Cheetos, he's saying you're not a fan of Breakdown. Vortex became decent. Yeah, that's a good point. We should also look at the new legacy, at the new 5-star bots. Yeah, you're right. That Breakdown is still, in my opinion, far under where he could be. I'm not going to lie, I'm not overtly impressed. Oh, because that's why I had him sorted weird. But, yeah, I'm not impressed with Breakdown myself, to be honest with you. He is a little lackluster. And we're going to go into Zone 10 with just these two. These are the two legacy bots now. And I didn't equip anything on them for their 5 stars, so they're running vanilla. Okay. So that they're just... They got the G1. Oh, I have sights on Breakdown. But here's the Breakdown on them. And then here's Vortex, if I can get that to come up right. Yeah, here's Vortex. Oh, I have Gatorface on here. Okay, so I do have a little bit of a build on these guys. Nothing substantial. But yeah, considering that these two low-level 5 stars are going into Zone 10 here, we should have some... Here's Vortex going off. Now, watch this targeting. This targeting has been dramatically increased. See, it went over... It hit the main target. It hit a couple of the buildings behind it. So his area of targeting has been increased. And since since electric really doesn't affect the shock tower, and the Titan is clearing everything out, this is so unfair. We might have to go up to a higher level base just so I can showcase these guys a little bit. Let's do that. We'll go up a little bit higher. I don't expect these guys to win at a higher level base. I'm just trying to showcase them off to you. And hey, Soul finally showed up. One of the very few Autobots I trust in this game. I make that joke to a lot of my Earth Wars friends that are Autobots, but it's all meant in good fun. But yeah, let's see. We got to go a little bit higher so that I know that we're probably diminishing the effectiveness of these low-level 5 stars, but I just want to be able to... Ooh, this actually could be a fun run with these two. I wish we could toggle off the Titans on some of these, but we're going to launch that EMP rockets over there to that laser turret. Didn't do bad. It disabled them. And I mean, keep in mind, this is a higher level base, and these are low level 5 stars, so I'm not expecting miracles, but as we had tested them a couple of weeks ago, last week and a week ago before that, okay, they're actually not doing bad clearing it out, but I don't know if that was the Titan or if that was the bots themselves. And their cost doesn't seem to be increasing, which is good. Which is very good. Yeah, that was a Titan hit there. I should have known. That's why I'm trying to stay on the left side of this base here. But, it comes in and just out of range with Vortex and Dust Up. But, I mean, both of their targetings are better. But, yeah, Breakdown is kind of just still kind of not quite there yet. Honestly, and I know that a lot of the playtesters were like, no, don't make this an electrical Sunstreaker. And a lot of the other playtesters were like, yes, make this an electrical Sunstreaker. I mean, I was definitely one of them. Sunstreaker is also Swindle for the Decepticons. You know, we kind of wanted him to be this electric version of Sunstreaker and Swindle, so that we had the range, and we had things that we could go. We could target long distance outposts as they got popped, and that we could still do significant damage. I mean, for an EMP bot, Breakdown was helping clearing this out, and it does seem like he's gotten a big buff since the last time we tested him. And honestly, I'm surprised that these guys have held out this long. But I mean, Dust Up and Vortex have definitely gotten targeting improvements. So we've gotten a lot of good stuff there. Let's see, what do we got going on? So Soul came in, that's good. Steven, I blocked you? Okay, interesting. I'll check that out after the stream. And then we got Fabs up here. Hey, Fabs, how you doing today? I guess you mean congratulations on my work, meaning with the new data sheets and stuff. So yes, thank you. And I mean, Soldier, Ultrapidus, Calum, Q, they all got like the first prototypical look at them, and I got a lot of good feedback from those guys there. So they did good. And JRAD, let's see, Web Art 3D. Isn't Mirage an electric Sunstreaker? He should be. He doesn't quite have the same range. Here, I'll show it to you side by side. Here, we'll do this up, because I love doing these comparisons. I really do. I love doing stuff like this. So yeah, let me show you. He should be, yes, but he kind of quite isn't, sadly. And that there's Sunstreaker, aka Swindle, and then bring in Breakdown right next to him. Okay, and I'm gonna deploy these guys at the same spot so you can see their range. Try to give you some glimpse of their ranges, and I'm gonna deploy them at the farthest edge possible. Come on, Swindle. There we go. Both of them right there. Okay, so here's Swindle's range. It is humongous. Here's Breakdown's range. A little less. See? Oh, by almost an entire building. So doesn't quite have the same reach. Not quite the same overall targeting. He still spreads out a little bit compared to like Sunstreaker and Swindle, but a lot. I want to say about half of us were online in playtest saying, yeah, we just give him the stats of Sunstreaker / Swindle, but keep him electric and give his G1 stealth, and that's it. We'll be good to go. That's kind of what a lot of us were aiming for. I know like Broccoli and was kind of on the fence with me. He kind of liked the idea, but he wanted something different. He was more concentrated on the stealth aspect of it, which we did get with this G1. So yeah. But I mean, overall these bots aren't bad. I'm not really inclined to go after them or go hunt them down. If and when I get them, great. Then I'll probably refocus a little bit. But any other time, I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm not overtly impressed. Slightly, like I said, if we got Mirage and Breakdown to be a true electrical Sunstreaker, I think I would have been happy. Honestly, I think I would have been very, very happy. And Clarence is asking, can you play this bot and gnaw his ability fezzes up when you apply your combiner and Terramander? Second's ability only shooting one missile. I'm not quite sure what you mean there. I was gonna go back and revisit our Legacy 20 team here real quick because I wanna check these guys out real quick. But I'm also gonna throw in 5-star Bruticus since they're live now. Yeah, JRad. And you know from seeing me over on the Earth Wars server, I really am trying to promote cryo and electric. You know, you and I we have our playful banters back and forth, but yeah, I'm trying to promote cryo and electric. You know, and you can testify. A lot of players just don't want to use it. They just don't want to adapt to it. You know, so it's kind of hard, like I said earlier, to get these players out of their comfort zone. Well, Blade, yeah, they kind of they have tried to move away from fire a lot of the time. A lot of times they really have. I'm not gonna lie, but I mean, come on, even our brand new 5-star Bruticus does electric damage now. A lot of us said would have been nice to have seen him with a, you know, with like a, oh crap, I just used the wrong ability. I wanted to leap, but it's here. And then I'll bring in, oh, they did add the damage reflection shield. Purple, in case you guys don't know, I've got a beautiful little data sheet and a beautiful video on the different shields. Purple is damage reflection, and green is damage absorption. So yeah, I may actually have that one backwards. But and even Earth Shatterer got a mean boost to it. So he Bruticus can still do a lot of damage, and he kind of tore up this front-loaded style base. And we're going to bring Crasher in here. But see, this is all about pathing control. See, Crasher gets rid of the targets that your bots are going to go focus on. And I've got her... Oh, she's stunned right now. Stupid stun mines. But she'll hold out. She'll hold. But Crasher can come right over here and clear out an MDS. And the ability to... I was disabled. Oh, nice. Nice. I saw that. It looks like it's got a Micronus core on it or a self-heal. But yeah, usually Crasher can just come through and take out these MDSs like I showed earlier. And I know Headstrong's not part of Batch 20, but he's got the new combat bot on him, which I'm still wanting to focus and highlight. But see the black arrows and the red arrows on him. He's been countered here with this, probably with this core right here, or this build bot. But boom, there it goes. And actually, this team held up pretty well. I'm surprised. But yeah, you know. Radio wave. I'm not going to spoil anything, but we might have something coming down the pike that way. It's still too early to tell, but we might have an ability that swaps out damage for health and health for damage. But I'm not going to spoil anything because we do have a damage in health out bot. And then primarily that's with the Alchemist Prime. So we've got him that does that. And that's about as much as I'm going to say on that. But yeah, we'll finish up here with this stream, and I'll show you what I mean. Radio wave. Let me get into my Prime Core Lab, or my Prime Core Lab. Wow, Prime Lab. Okay. His artifact kind of does do that. You know, as he takes damage, he gives off healing. So here for Alchemist and his lenses, we get that ability that you're talking about. So I know. So just to see, just to let you know, we do have somebody that has that ability. We don't have a bot yet that does that, or a core that does that, but we do have a Prime that does that. And WebArt 3D is saying he has a team that's all cryo and electric, and it's one of his best teams. That's probably because everybody is still fire acid based. They're not defending against cryo and electric yet, so they're not really beefing that up. And yeah, we still don't have. I still have his protoform here on PT JRAD, but which is crazy because we have it on live. And last week I showed it off, I believe. But guys, this was a great stream. Thank you for all the interaction. Sorry about my really long tirade earlier in the stream, but it's just there's a lot going on behind the scenes. Some things we're privy to, some things we're not. But do trust me, guys. There are improvements. HQ 19 is coming. Hopefully we get some inkling of it here on playtest soon. Hopefully within the next few weeks, because like I said, we've got a balanced patch 3 that we're still speccing out. We're still making recommendations for. We've got Chopster and Wingblaze. Our new combat's coming probably within a few weeks. We've got Total Prime Power coming next week, the 6th. So again, make sure that you guys do update your game. Make sure that it's on version 30. The framework and everything is in there. They just have to activate it when the majority of players are on version 30. So yeah, guys, again, my fellow Cybertronians, thank you for a wonderful interactive chat. Thanks for the interactive back and forth. Good conversation, good topics today. And thank you for all the compliments on the data sheets. Anybody that's on our Family Alliance server, you guys know you can get those at any time. I've made a lot of updates to the Earth Wars useful content channel. A lot of the new data sheets are there for you guys to see. So if you guys are on the Earth Wars channel, check out the useful content channel. They're in there. So guys, everybody, thank you for contributing to making a great stream today. I appreciate it, and I love the open forum that we do with these things. So have a good weekend, have a good event, and thank you all. And then everybody, I keep trying to work this in at the end of every stream. Just keep up